Hello, everybody. It's Tao at the Forge, and I am coming to you today with one of my favorite mill archetypes. Now, I was super excited to see this crab, this little buddy of mine. This this rune crab, basically the same as a Hedron crab. It's a 0/3. He's actually better than Hedron crab because Hedron crab I think says target opponent, but this says each opponent, right? So like basically like this means all your opponents. If you play this like in a multiplayer, then everybody mills. So anyways, so if you don't know, and if you haven't been a long time follower of my channel, I am basically a super big fan of mill. It's probably my favorite archetype, and hopefully you don't unsubscribe from me for that. But basically, yeah, I just love mill. Now, normally I play Demir mill, but and that's in modern. But in historic, I found the opportunity to play mill. Now, I've got basically a build here that's not going to be too bad. Like you can see, like, so we got uncommon, common. I'll go through my card choices in a minute. Common, a rare, okay, and then some more, like basically one mythic, and this actually we'll talk about, and then 4 rares with Fabled Passage. So basically like 5 rares. Oh no, sorry, 8 rares. And these rares are actually all pretty good ones. Like Drowned Secrets is a must-have. Fabled Passage isn't a must-have, but it is actually really good. So I would say it kind of is, right? So, but still, like, you're never really going to feel bad about having Fabled Passage, right? So if you've got this in your library, like in your collection, like this is always going to come in handy. Like you use this in virtually every deck. So I mean, like even in paper, you're not going to feel bad about getting this. Okay, let's go through it. So we're going to start off our mill plan with basically our mill engine. Okay, so our mill engine is Rune Crab. Okay, so we got Rune Crab is a 1 mana 0/3, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 3 cards. And I remember the first time ever seeing a mill deck, and I saw Hedron Crab, and I was like, well, so what? It's 3 cards. But this little guy will do so much work for you. Like usually this little guy will mill like, 15 cards or 20 cards or whatever, like just goes crazy, right? And it's hard for your opponent to waste like removal on him, right? Because it's also hard because later on we have ways of protecting him. All right, but anyways, Rune Crab is one of our ways of getting rid of our opponent's stuff. Okay, second thing is we have is Drowned Secrets. Okay, so Drowned Secrets, whenever you cast a blue spell, target player mills 2 cards. And then lastly, we've got Teferi's Tutelage. All right, so we've got lots of different ways to get our mill engine going. And the cool thing is that we've got one at 1 mana, so 4 of them at 1 mana, another 4 at 2 mana, and another 4 at 3 mana. And so we can actually curve out pretty smoothly with that. The other thing I like about this is it attacks your opponent in multiple ways. So your Rune Crab basically here is that it's going to attack your opponent when lands enter the battlefield with landfall. All right, and then Drowned Secrets is in a different way. So when you play lands, you're getting mill value. When you're casting a blue spell, it can even be countered, right? But as soon as you cast it, then you are getting your Drowned Secrets mill on. And then whenever you draw a card, then you're also getting mill. So you're getting mill virtually in every turn of your every part of your turn. So when you draw the card, let's say you draw a card, and then you get mill. If you draw a land, you get mill. You get a spell, you get mill, right? And so like it's ways of like milling out your opponent, right? It's so there's lots of different lines of attack. It's not all just necessarily all in card draw or all in when you're playing blue spells or whatever. And that's what I like is you're just using you're attacking your opponent all over, and it's actually really hard to deal with. Okay, so what are the other cards? So we got 4 of Merfolk's Secret Keeper. I'll talk about Curious Obsession in a minute. But we got a 4 of Merfolk's Secret Keeper. So this one's just an obvious one. Well, especially if you've got Drowned Secrets out, the target player mills 4 cards, and then you can also put them down as a 0/4 body as a blocker on the battlefield. I don't expect this guy to stick around for very long, but hey, having a 0/4 body is not nothing, right? And can keep you alive just long enough to mill your opponent. Now, there is one thing I should mention at this point is that when you're playing mill, you are playing virtually a losing strategy. If the game goes on long enough, you will lose, right? Because you're not actually just doing anything actively to affect your opponent's their card advantage. You're not affecting their life total or anything. All you're doing is just shrinking their library. So what you got to do is you got to close out the game as soon as possible. So you got to be like super aggressive, right, in trying to get the mill down. But on the other hand, you got to strike that balance, because once you get your mill engine going, like, so once you got your Rune Crab, your Drowned Secrets, your Teferi's Tutelage, then the whole rest of it is just protection. And the thing is, you're only going to have a limited amount of protection. And so what you have to do is see like what really matters. So your opponent, if your opponent, for instance, drops like a 1/1, right? Like, that's actually, not that big of a deal, right? Like, so you might just let that through and save that creature removal for something else, right? Okay, let's see. So we got Merfolk Seeker Keeper, 1 mana. Okay, and then another one to get the 0/4 body. We got a Spell Pierce, so counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2. Now, the reason why I'd like this is because we're playing pretty low to the ground here, right? We want to keep up a lot of mana as much as possible, right? And so the Spell Pierce is just a 1 mana counter spell. Late game, it's not great, but if we're going super, super late into the game, then we're probably going to lose anyways. So Spell Pierce is actually pretty nice, because you can, like, for instance, turn 1, play like Rune Crab, turn 2, play another land, do some mill, maybe play Merfolk Secret Keeper. I'll talk about Curious Obsession later, and then maybe still hold up Spell Pierce for some removal or something like that. All right, and same thing with Unsummon. So Unsummon is just basically to set your opponent's creatures back a turn. So sometimes you just let something come through, and then, like, for instance, let's say I have a Didn't Say Please, and my opponent drops, like, I don't know, some big fatty. What you could do is let them drop, like, cast the creature, right, and then wait for them to, like, cast a spell on it or whatever, and then just unsummon it back to their hand, right, and just sets them back. And then next turn after that, then you can say Didn't Say Please, right? So it just depends what they're trying to do. If it's Ugin, then obviously you can't unsummon it, but, or a Ulamog or something like that, then, then you gotta counter that. Okay, but anyways, then we got Anti-Cognition. So Anti-Cognition is a 2 mana spell, and it's basically built for mill, right? So we got counter target creature or planeswalker spell unless its controller pays 2. If an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, instead just counter that spell and then scry 2. So basically this is a 2 mana counter spell for creatures and planeswalkers. It's strictly better than there's another card. I forget what counter spell it is. It's just counter target creature spell. Where is it here? I'll probably be able to find it really easily here. It is Callous Dismissal. Oh no, that's the return. No, where is it here? I was like, oh yeah, I'll be able to easily find it, and then I can't find it. It is counter target spell, Essence Capture. There it is. Counter target creature spell, so something like that. There's actually a 1 mana and Disperse, something like that. Anyways, oh no, I guess it is Essence Scatter, right? That is actually kind of weird. Oh, Essence Capture. Essence Capture, I see. This one's a different one. Okay, so Essence Scatter. But this is actually a strictly better one for mill, because you just straight up counter something, but then you get the scry, and your opponent's always going to have 8 or more cards in their graveyard, like almost always. So, I mean, it's rare that this isn't going to work for you. Okay, of course we talked about Drowned Secrets. We got Didn't Say Please. Now, there are other counter spells, but Didn't Say Please is just a general good use counter spell, but it also gives you the mill that you need, so it helps you to mill your opponent to mill 3 cards. We got Teferi's Tutelage, which is fine, but we also have Chemist's Insight. Now, we generally don't really want to cast this, but I like it because it's an instant, right? Because if we're at 4 mana, we typically want to hold that mana up for counter spells. But what you can do is hold things up until your opponent's end step, and then because it's an instant, you can draw your 2 cards on your end step, right? And then you're less danger overall than if you're casting it during your main phase. All right, so Chemist's Insight's pretty good, but I only wanted a 2 of in there. Same thing is true for Teferi. Okay, so Teferi is actually quite nice. He's a definite threat that your opponent's going to have to deal with, but the problem is that you only got, like, you don't really want to ever be tapped out with this, because you want to hold up counters all the time, right, to protect all your stuff. So Teferi, when you put him down, it's you're really kind of going shields down for that turn. So you really have to make sure you got some real good value for him at the time. right? And so I mean, at the end, if you get him down, he's going to draw you probably at least two cards, so one on your turn, one on your opponent's turn. Um, it's still good. I'm not going to say he's not good because he definitely is good, but it's not something I'd want a four of in there. And if you wanted to take this out, I think you definitely could take him out, right? And put something else in there, just another counter spell or something, like maybe Essence Scatter or something like that. All right, so that could actually come out if you really didn't want it. Now, I've been kind of passing up talking about this one, Curious Obsession. This is the tech that no one ever really expects you to have. All right, so what you can do is you can get your Curious Obsession down. So you can go like turn one, Rune Crab, and or turn two, you play Merfolk Secret Keeper. You mill your opponent, then you play, then you play the Secret Keeper, or just play him, right? If you have the Curious Obsession in your hand, then very often your opponent, like let's say I play turn one Rune Crab, okay, so then turn two I play a land, so I've got two islands down, right? But my opponent's probably played like a tap land or something like that, And so what I can do is slap a Curious Obsession on my creature, on my Rune Crab, and attack with it, right? And then basically I'm just drawing a card, right? And I just draw a card, and then if I can hold up like a Spell Pierce, right, then or something like that, or unsummon. When my opponent plays a creature, you can unsummon the creature and then attack, with your Rune Crab again, right? And then once you attack with your Rune Crab again, now you're holding up like things like Didn't Say Please, Anti-Cognition, and you're starting to get lots of cards. And then you can basically just keep, basically using Rune Crab to draw you cards, right? And mill every time you get lands. And then he's also drawing you cards to start getting enough mana to play these other things. Now, as for the land base, we're playing 14 islands, so we're going to play actually just 22 lands. Because we're so low to the ground, this actually doesn't really matter. Plus, we're also monocolored, so that's not a huge deal. We are playing 14 islands, 2 Evolving Wilds. Now, we don't want to get tapped lands very often, right? So you're really trying to avoid this. So in my original incarnations of this deck, I put in 4 Evolving Wilds and 4 Terramorphic Expanses, and then had like only like 8 islands. But I found it was just way, way too slow. So the idea, though, is just to get more, or you don't want to have too many tapped lands, right? And then also, Fabled Passage is really good because at first they're tapped lands, but after you've got 3 islands, then they come in untapped. Now, the Field of Ruin is there, to deal with some of the like the Field of the Dead cards that are in Historic. But one of the things you can also do is if you've got open mana, you can also just destroy Field of Ruin, and then it just replaces itself because you don't really care about it. So you just destroy one of your opponent's lands. They can search for a basic land to replace it. Maybe you get lucky, they're not playing basics, but the main thing is that you can sacrifice Field of Ruin and put another land onto your battlefield for you, and it doesn't come in tapped, right? So it just says each player searches the library for a basic land card, puts it into the battlefield. It's not tapped, right? So you can actually just sacrifice this, get an untapped island if you want, and then that counts as a land draw for Rune Crab, right? So it's just another way of dealing up damage to your opponent and then still getting the Rune Crab. But you don't want to do this too often because it is colorless, and it does take an investment of mana to activate it. Right, but that is the deck. It's surprisingly good and actually surprisingly cheap, right? So I mean, like Drowned Secrets is the only real rare that's in there. Then we have the Fabled Passage, and that's why Fabled Passage I say is actually pretty good because it comes in untapped a lot of the time. If you really don't have the rares for Fabled Passage, you could put in maybe 2 Evolving Wilds and 2 more islands, so go 16 islands, 4 Evolving Wilds, and then you don't have to get these. But this actually just does so much work for you. Like keep in mind, like every time if you have Rune Crab, on one turn you play Evolving Wilds, that's mill 2, then you crack it and you get another island, that's mill 2, or mill 3, that's 6 mill. Next turn you play Fabled Passage, you mill 3, you get another island, you mill 3, and right there, that's already like 12 lands or 12 cards that you've milled out just from playing essentially 2 lands. And you also thinned out your library a little bit, and so it's very difficult for your opponent to deal with that. All right, but overall, you can see the curve is extremely low on this, which is why we can get away with, I would say you can maybe even go down to 20 lands if you really wanted. But, because we've weaponized our lands with Rune Crab, you don't want to go too low. But anyways, that is the deck. So let me know what you think in the comments. Are there any suggestions you guys might have? Following this, I'll have some gameplay so you can see it in action. Overall, I've won more games than I've lost with this. I'd say, probably like, I don't know, like 70% win rate, maybe 60, 70% win rate overall. I'll play like maybe 2 games after this, and then you can see like how I do. So anyways, that is it for now. Let me know if you like this. Remember, if you do like these videos, please give me a like and subscribe. Thumbs up in the comment, or leave a comment, anything that helps the channel for free. It doesn't cost you anything to do those things, but it does help me out quite a bit. That is it for now. Thanks for watching, and happy milling. All right, so we are going to go and we're going to play some crab mill. Now, one of the things that we want to do is get down an early threat. So something that's going to mill them, like a drowned secrets, or else a crab or something like that. And then basically just hold off our opponent and just keep countering them until they're milled out. All right, we want to just kind of delay. And so that's kind of like the whole point of our deck, is that we want to basically stall and stall and stall. And, eventually we know that our opponent's going to overtake us, but we're just hoping that we can mill them out before that happens. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see. Like, I've had some fairly good success when I play properly. If I mess up, like there was one match where I played where I could have countered a planeswalker and I just totally missed the trigger, or missed it, then that really sucked. This is actually playable, especially if I draw another land. So I will go turn 1 Rune Crab, and then potentially hold up Spell Pierce and potentially Drown Catacombs as well. So we will keep this. Now, the question is, do you play Rune Crab on turn 1? And in this case, I would say, actually, I probably don't. Okay, that changes things, because then I could get this down. I say, tough call, tough call. All right, so I'm going to go for it and play the Rune Crab. Okay. And then next turn, I can play potentially Drowned Secrets, and I'm going to have to take a beating from Pelt Collector here. All right, all right. So what do they got? Arboreal Grazer. Okay, now the good thing about that is, he's going to play that next turn. Right, so, what do we got? Okay. Now, do I hold up Spell Pierce? I don't think so. I think he's going to play Arboreal Grazer. So what I should do is actually go to Drowned Secrets. Okay. And then that way, on the next turn, I can go Island. And I can hold up my Island and just hold up Didn't Say Please. Right? And then after that, then I can go to Evolving Wilds and start, and mill a whole bunch of cards. So just got to get a lot of patience here. Okay, so that should not trigger these guys, right? Yeah, okay. So he's trying to put the big fatties down next. We will just block. Actually, no, I can take one. Because I'm afraid what he's going to do is pump him with a Giant Growth or something like that. I mean, who's playing Giant Growth? But never know. You never know. Okay, so I've got to hold that up. So I need to make sure I hold this up here in order for the... Yeah, see? He could have had the... Oh, he is playing Giant Growth. I knew it. I knew it. Okay. So, no attacks. End turn. Right? And then what I can do is... Like, I can take 2 at a time from these guys. I've just got to make sure a big fatty doesn't come out. Right? So... No blocks. Yeah. 2 at a time is basically 10 turns. Right? So, I can deal with that. Alright. So, let's go to Evolving Wilds. Alright, so he's going to mill 3 more. And then crack Evolving Wilds. Okay, get another island and mill 3 more. Alright, so next turn I'll have 5 lands, which means I will be able to play an island and also still hold up Didn't Say Please. Right, so we still have some options here. So he's got 6 mana. He's got something. No blocks. No. I'll take the 2 at a time. I can definitely mill you out in 10 turns. Okay, so here we go. So another 3 lands, another 3 cards in the graveyard. Okay, Now, I'm hoping he's not playing, you know, that card. There's one green card in Historic that can return his whole library back, his whole graveyard back to the library. I'm hoping he's not playing that. No attacks. All right. So I've got holding up, didn't say please. Now, my opponent's going to start milling a crap ton of cards if he starts doing that. Right, so, okay. No blocks. Okay. And what does he have? Does he have just a handful of hand? Like his whole hand is like lands? Okay, so now I got double didn't say please. Oh, what's that? Moss Viper. No attacks. Okay. And let's see what our opponent's got here. Basically, I can just stall them out for quite some time. Okay, opponent. No blocks. Alright. Oh, anti-cognition. Alright, that's actually pretty good. So, I think what I will do is I will actually block the next one and just see what they do. Because I really want them to attack and try something. Right? And I've got double counterspell going. Alright. They're just getting totally land flooded. Okay, go back. Yeah. Alright. So let's see what happens if I block one of these guys. So block. Does he have a giant growth? I knew it. Okay. Nope. No to you. Target player mills 2 cards. Mills 2 cards. Alright, and then mill 3 more. And I block 1 damage. That's pretty good. I knew it. I knew he had giant growth. I mean, holding on to that forever. And, you know, you didn't say please for that either. You definitely cannot have that. Okay, so there we go. Okay, milling a bunch of cards. Okay, now they're down to 13. Now I'm doing way better. Okay. Now we will say, nope, no attacks, end turn. And now we can start unsummoning his stuff. Okay, so what's this? Questing Beast. Yeah, sure. Case. And then we will unsummon this guy. Yep. So you can mill 2, mill 2. Okay, opponent's going to come in, but I'll still be able to block one of these guys. Play it again. Oh, but you didn't say please. All right. Okay, and then let's see, what do we got here? Mill 3 more. Our opponent's got 1 card left. All right. And I actually do have something I can do here. We will block. Like, at most, I have to last for 1 turn. Oh, there you go. Ruin Crab. That's a blue spell. Mill 2 cards. Mill 2 cards. That is it. Goodbye. No attacks. Boom. All right. So you can see, like, we're basically just playing this long stall game. Now, our opponent, we did get kind of lucky in that they got land flooded, right? Like, you know, they just drew a crap ton of land. But they were also holding down that giant growth, just trying to bait us into doing it. And, you know, like, if you're going to hit me for 1 or 2 at a time, you're basically giving me 10 turns before I have to really work, like, to do anything to you, right? And, like, I'm going to definitely mill you out before, you know, before that happens. So, I mean, overall, like, I feel like this deck is actually, you know, fairly strong. It's not going to be like, you know, take you into the top tiers, but for what it is actually pretty fun, fairly easy to pilot, and super annoying for your opponents. But anyways, that is an example of Mono Blue Crab Mill in Historic. Anyways, let me know what you think in the description. If you like it, then let me know. I'd love to hear any suggestions you have for new cards. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Alright, so we're going to go for match number 2 and just see how we do here. So, alright, so we're going to play. And now, I want to actually see if I can get a match where like this Ruin Crab and Curious Obsession. That now, my issue with Teferi Time Master is he's good, but he really just like it basically you have to go totally defenses down in order to cast him. So that's why that's kind of bad. But this actually makes me really want to put a turn 1 Ruin Crab down. Because if my opponent plays like a tap land or something like that, it's going to be very... I at least get 1 card out of the Curious Obsession. Right, so, okay, so there we go. Okay, so, and then Curious Obsession. Put it on this creature, and we can start attacking, and at least get a card out of him. Right, and of course we're going to take that action. Alright, and we can start at least getting extra card draws off of this. Right, so, opponent... Naban, okay. Sure. Let's go to... Let's just go straight up and attack. He's going to let it through. Right, because he's not going to trade. So, take action. Okay, now, do I go Teferi's Tutelage? I think I go Tutelage. Okay. And then... Yeah, draw a card, discard a card. I think I discard Chemister's Insight. Okay, and next turn I think I go Fabled Passage into Teferi, right, and draw some more cards and just start the drawing going. Alright, so, alright, oh, Unsummoned, that's actually really sweet. Okay, let us get the Fabled Passage down. Okay, so activate ability, we'll just get another island down. Okay, boom, boom, boom. We'll go Drown Secrets. Unsummon. Okay, mill our opponent for 2. Okay, all attack. That gives us our trigger. Okay, of course we're going to take the action. Get some more cards. Mill some more. There we go. Alright, so at this point I feel like I'm doing okay, but still I'm only halfway through my opponent's deck. Only milled 20 cards. Deputy of Detention. Okay. Alright, well, that sucks. But he... Oh! Triggered twice. Ooh, that sucks. Okay. Well, let's do this. Drown Secrets. Target player. Okay. And we will play an Evolving Wilds right now, because that way we have nothing else we can do. Now, I wonder, when he phases out, does my stuff come back in? I don't care about your life total at all. Okay. Empyrean Eagle I do care about. Alright. So pass. Yeah, I can take 3 damage. Okay. My turn. Oh, okay, I totally misplayed that. Alright, let's see. Can I salvage this? Teferi. Yeah. Milling my opponent. Milling my opponent. Okay. Okay, so then Ruin Crab. Okay, milling my opponent. Alright, so mill. Okay, slowly start getting rid of stuff. Okay, resolve, sure. Like I said, don't care about your life total at all. Okay, so let's get another island. Alright, so that's my opponent down to 15 cards. Okay, so we are going to draw a card. Oh, Fabled Passage is really good, so we'll discard that. And then this turn we will exile the Deputy of Detention. Okay, target creature you don't control phases out. Sure. Okay. Now, I was actually wondering if how that would work. Like if I would actually get the things back, right, when he phased out. Because it says until he leaves the battlefield. But doesn't he leave the battle? Oh, I guess he doesn't leave the battlefield. He's just phased out. Alright, well that sucks, but that's okay still. I think we're alright. I feel like we could be okay. So let's Fabled Passage. So we'll crack the Fabled Passage. Okay, we will just play an island. Mill our opponent. 8. Draw some cards. Discard this. Submit. So draw some more cards. And we'll hold up. Now, can he hit me for 11? No. Okay, next. No attacks. End turn. Okay, so for 7. So I feel like I'm okay. I can mill my opponent for 3 when they cast their spell this turn. Then I can play... Yeah, I don't care about that. Because having them gain life doesn't matter. They can draw a card. That doesn't matter. Drawing 2 cards actually helps my strategy a lot. Alright. So... Okay. And does my opponent have anything else? Okay, they can't hit me for very much this turn, actually. They hit me for 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Right, so they're going to have to swing for quite a bit. So pass. I'll just block this guy. Block. Pass. I got some secrets here, so we're going to crack Field of Ruin. Destroy your hallowed fountain. And a new land is going to enter the battlefield. Okay, so I get at least another land here. Okay, opponent, yeah, you're going to search for something. That means he's going to mill 3 more, and then Merfolk Secret Keeper should finish it off. All right, totally worked. It totally worked despite these freaking deputies of detention. All right, I will take it, yes. See, this is the thing as I say about Mill, is that Mill is always like playing like just so close. It's just a race. Like, you know you're eventually going to lose, but... Oh, and they gave me the G's. That's actually very kind of them. Yeah, you know eventually you're gonna lose. You're just trying to win before they can just destroy you, right? Like, so you're just basically racing. But anyways, that's the fun of Mill, right? Is that, you know, like, your opponent can actually beat you. It's just you got to play super cleverly and very fast. I find that the decks that really don't succeed in Mill are the ones that just kind of take it easy. They try and play a half-half strategy. So they'll be like, well, I'm going to play like half creature, like I'll play half discard and half Mill or something like that. And I found like in general, Mill is going to require like almost like a full out strategy, right? But anyways, like all in, I guess you're going all in. All right, so we're going to come back and do another match here. So we'll play Crab Mill and see if we can knock out another win. Okay, so we have our opponent, and let's see if we can mill this guy out before we lose. Now, this is tough because we don't really have any action until turn 3. And so basically, and really all we got is a counter creature spell. So I think I should mulligan this. This is better. Okay, so we can keep 6. And I will throw in Chemister's Insight to the bottom. We want to keep our curve relatively low. So let's start off with turn 1. And we'll just hold this up. Okay, so end turn. We'll hold up a Spell Pierce. All right, and see what our opponent does. Okay. So turn 2, what we'll do is, well, I guess there's no rush, right? So we can say end turn, and we'll just wait. You know, there's no rush to cast these spells out. Child of Night, okay. Now, again, I don't really care about a lifelinker. A lifelinker doesn't really do anything, you know, because, you know, I can... So we're going to mill our opponent for 4. Okay, and then we will just, do we take the 2 or do we hold this down? Let's hold it down. Alright, and maybe we can draw some hate there. We'll play this Evolving Wilds. Next, end turn. It'd be better if we had the crab here. Our mill action is very, very light. Okay, but still, what's this? Okay, so I can block. Don't care. Okay, so I can get another Merfolk Secret Keeper down. I'm missing all these land mill triggers, so hopefully we get like something good soon. Okay, Curious Obsession's pretty decent. Let's throw it down and just see what happens. Maybe our opponent's not willing to trade. If he isn't, then we can get an extra card draw. Okay, so, yeah, get an extra card draw off of it, so take action. another Fabled Passage. I will take that, and we will go to cancel. And, do we take the 3 here and hold up didn't say please? Yeah, I think we do. Right, so we take the 5 actually, which really kind of sucks, but if we do, we also get to draw another card. Right, and then next turn we can throw down Secret Keeper or something like that. So, okay, let's see what our opponent has here. So we're going to try and destroy this, so activate this. Okay, we will get another island and say, you did not say please. Okay, there we go. So our opponent's going to do 5 damage. That's a lot. I can't do that very often. Ooh, hoo-hoo. Okay, so... Okay, next, all attack. Get 2 cards out of this now. Okay, do I have a take action? Get a land? Okay, land is good. Take action. Okay, so we're going to draw this, and we can't keep taking 5, but I feel like I should hold up I didn't say please. Spell Pierce would also be pretty good. Do I need to hold up 2, or can I mill... I feel like I can mill my opponent this turn. Okay, and end turn. Okay, so our opponent's really going to want to get rid of this because, yeah, we're going to trade 5 damage, but we're going to draw 2 more cards next turn. And you also did not say please for that one. So you cannot have that. Okay, actually I should have used Spell Pierce. Crap, that was a total mistake play. Okay. So here we're going to go and we are going to get Merfolk Secret Keeper down. So we're going to attack, draw 2 more cards, see what we get. Okay, so take action and take action. Oh, unsummon. Okay, unsummon is pretty good. Let's go to Fairy's Tutelage. Okay, so we're going to draw a card, throw down a Spell Pierce. Target player mills some more cards, and we can just unsummon something next turn. Okay, and we can actually, so we can take 2 here instead of 3. Okay, Dust Legion Zealot, don't care. Drawing a card is actually good for us, so they draw a card, you know, that's okay. Okay, Child of Night. Yeah, that's fine. Pass. Okay, so what are they going to do? Yes, attack with everything, I imagine. No? What? Okay, I will just block that, I guess. That's so weird. Why wouldn't he attack with both? Pass. Okay, sure. Oh, I see. He wants to keep it up as a blocker. Okay, okay. What do we do? Do we unsummon that guy right now? I feel like we do. Okay, so let's go unsummon this guy. Alright. Oh, Rune Crab. Sweet. Sweet. Okay, so mill a couple more. Now we got all 3 lines of mill going. Next, so we will attack with this guy. And yeah, he's going to block because he doesn't want me to draw 2 more cards. Might as well get Secret Keeper down. Mill 4 more. Okay, and get another blocker down. Okay, so now I've got the whole mill job going. I still got Spell Pierce, so if our opponent tries to play a Planeswalker or something, then I can block that. He doesn't know. I'm pretty sure he knows I have a counter. You cannot do that. Alright. That's a huge mistake. That is a huge mistake because he left himself open, and now I can draw 2 more cards next turn. That's also going to mill like a whole bunch more. Yeah, he's tapped. Tapped! Oh! Field of Ruin! Oh my god! I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, so Field of Ruin. Okay, so you're going to mill some more. I'm going to attack with, or not with everything. Don't care about these guys. Attack, draw 2 more cards. That's going to mill you some more. Done. That was a huge mistake. So mill 2 more. Teferi's 2. Oh my god. Okay, take 2 action. Okay. Do I get a land? Oh, I already played the land this turn. How much does he have? 11 cards. So we are going to pay 2, sacrifice, target non-basic land. So this one, sacrifice it. Boom. Okay, we put this in. He's going to mill 2 more. Or 3 more. What do we got? 7. Teferi's Tutelage. Okay, draw 1 card. Alright, and so opponent's got, yeah, good game. Alright! There we go, 3 for 3. Okay, that is pretty sweet. So there you go. That is how it's done, right? And you can see the mill action is actually pretty strong, right? Because it's just so disruptive, and you can see that Curious Obsession just totally can win you games. But anyways, that is it for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Let me know if you have any comments. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.